let's dive right into it, guys. Welcome to another edition of Webinar Wednesday, Tips to Grow Your Online Community. Really great to be with you guys here today. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I am Jason there on the left, and we're lucky to be joined by David Rockland, the digital strategist here at Brilliant Directories, helping us put together these amazing presentations. Thanks, David, for joining us today.
Hey everyone, good to be back with you for another webinar.
And I always like to recommend, if you're not already part of our Facebook group, it's a great way to keep the conversations going in between Webinar Wednesdays. You can always head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and just hit the join button if you're not already a member. And I'm in there myself. There's some great discussions, people asking a lot of how-to questions, strategy questions, wondering how to leverage the software and the platform to accomplish certain things. And it's great to see how versatile it is and how people are using it in so many different ways. So if you're not already a member, just take a second to head on over to that URL and we'll see you there. And for those of you joining for the first time, welcome. It really is great to have these Webinar Wednesday sessions where we can take a break. On our end, what we can do is kind of show you some of the newer features that are baked into the Brilliant Directories platform and kind of exchange some ideas on how you can leverage them to help your online community grow faster or more efficiently or whatever your goals are. Some topics that we'll usually cover, we'll introduce some new features that are available, but we'll also talk about how those new features can help you increase traffic, convert visitors to members, identifying revenue opportunities or areas where you can engage your members to help encourage more revenue growth for your community. One of my favorite things I always like to mention, it's always important to stress this, keeping your navigation and calls to action on your site simple. You want to give a nice, simple presentation to the visitor and to the members, especially in the early stages of your site, because you want to limit the funnel that you're driving them towards. So improving your website's navigation and flow is a really big thing here. So if you're in the webinar, if you're curious about how your website's presenting to the world, hopefully we can get to some of your questions towards in a little bit here, and we can maybe provide some tips and strategies for you to maybe make some improvements. All right, and we have a few BD Lab updates to share. Actually, the theme over the last couple of weeks, we're applying new methods for you to have a little bit more control over some of your homepage elements. So several of the new features that are already released and available to everyone are related to homepage updates. And I have mentioned these in previous webinars, but they were in the bottom section where it says coming soon, and thankfully those have now been pushed. So I'll kind of breeze through a few of these, and we do have some coming soon ones that I actually can show you a demo of a couple of them, and they're soon to be released as well. The first one is very simple. It's the ability to add a color overlay for your main homepage image. And let me show you exactly what I'm referring to there. So on your homepage, you can have an image here. But a lot of us are not Photoshop editors and things like that, and it does help contrast the text a bit if you were able to add a small filter over the image. And now you have the ability to do that. So let me show you where you can edit that. If you head on over to go to your dashboard and go to one of my favorite areas, design settings, and toggle on over to homepage layout. And it's the first module here, the homepage search settings. Small note, I think we're going to be changing the name of this to homepage hero settings because not everyone is using search there, and it really is just the hero section of the homepage. But nevertheless, you now have these two options here, overlay color, overlay visibility. So that's how transparent that color is going to be sitting on top of the image. Probably what most people are going to do, they're just going to select black if they're going to use this at all, and just do a subtle visibility like 5, 1 through 10. It's maybe 50% visibility. So let's just save that. Actually, let's check out this site here. So this site is with it. Let me actually remove it. So now let's remove that visibility. So it's basically disabling this feature. And we'll do a side-by-side comparison here. Let me just refresh this. Okay, so we can see here in these two examples, there's a little bit of black filtering over the image, and that does help with the text as well. Now, if you're brave and you're the creative type, maybe you want to choose an overlay color that sits with your branding colors and things like that. Branding assets a bit better. So let's do purple as an example here. Oh, the visibility is set to 0. Let me set that back to 5. All right. All right, so overlay visibility 5 out of 10. And now let's refresh that. Okay, so now you can see we have kind of like a purple hue over the image. So that's available to you guys now. It's probably just something you're going to set one time or based on the image you're going to select for your site. But the main benefit here is it can help create a better contrast for the text that you're using, the color of the font, which can help, again, present the website better overall. All right, the next one is for homepage streaming widget settings. So prior to this update, the only things you could choose were the hover color for a homepage streaming widget. And let me show you what I'm referring to here. Here's a homepage with different streaming widget modules. And we can see this has a blue hue over here and a white font. That was pretty much all you could set for the homepage streaming widget settings. We've now added, I think, 4 or 5 additional settings here, which give you a bit more control. And let me show you what those are. We can go here to this site's admin. And this is also going to be under homepage layout, also under homepage search settings. And you're going to want to scroll to the bottom here. We wanted to release this, so we kind of just tucked it away over here for now. So we have our 2 options that we're all familiar with, the background cover when you hover, and also the font color that sits on top of the background. In this case, it's blue and white. But actually now we have these 3 additional options here. So we have a view all button over here. And you actually choose if you want to change that to one of your other button color options. If you know on the first tab of your design settings, and I'm going to change this to danger. But let me show you what this corresponds to, because your site does have 6 default button color options. Under your design settings, you have default button link colors, and basically these you can set them to whatever you want, but you can repurpose and use these button colors throughout your site, and then you can make sure you have a cohesive color design throughout, just using the corresponding color that you need for that specific element. But let's scroll back down here. So we're going to change it to danger button. And another thing here is aspect ratio. So 16:9 is basically a rectangle shape for the streaming widgets. But if you wanted to, you could switch that to 1:1, which would make them square. So you can have solid squares as opposed to 16:9. Now these are global settings, so it will apply to any streaming widget modules that you have coming down your home page. And then lastly, you can choose if you want the image, the background image that's representing the specific post that's being featured, to make sure it covers the entire area corner to corner, or if you want it to fit within the space. If your images have text on them, maybe it's like a flyer or a brochure, you probably want to fit it within the space. But if your images are just, of people and things like that, it's probably best to just go with the default here, which is covering the area. That will minimize any empty spaces as people stream down the homepage, and it should work well in most cases. But let's just change a few things here. Let's go red just to show a stark difference here, and we'll do the square, and we'll set this to fit within space and the button color danger here. Go ahead and save the changes. I'll just open a new tab so we can do a before and after comparison here. So we can see here, it's created, these images are actually rectangle, but because I selected fit to space, it's not stretching the image corner to corner. So this is that extra that empty space that I was referring to that you're going to get as it attempts to just fit the exact proportions of the image without going corner to corner. We can see the colors have changed as we scroll down. This one is using 3 in a row. Here's 4 in a row, and then here's with 2 in a row in square shape. So I always recommend keeping your streaming widgets on your homepage limited. You don't really need, a dozen things, different pieces of content going down your homepage. Maybe 2 to 4 is nice. Your most popular content, the areas of your site that are most populated with helpful information. Probably that's what you want to stream on your homepage. But this should give you a bit more control over how you want those streaming widgets to look and appear. This one I'm really excited about, icons or images for your homepage hero divider. I'm really happy that in the Facebook group, a lot of people kind of requested this. And what we're referring to here, and let's actually enable that on this site. Let's go to a homepage section orders. Let me just enable the hero divider, and let's just take a look at it. What it is. We're all familiar with this because a lot of people use it. It's a great way to do calls to action right on your homepage. So it's these modules here. And up until now, you could just choose the available icons that we have. However, now you can choose to switch and use images instead, which I think is really helpful because being more visual on your site is always good. So you can toggle this in the homepage divider settings, switch it to use image, and then it looks like we push this, we need to update a width here, but that's okay. You can upload an image for each respective spot. In this case, we'll just use this lady for now. Now, the recommended size, it's going to fit the width to be equal, so probably just want to make sure the 3 images you're using have the same height when you upload them. So let's save the changes here. That way, when they line up horizontally, one image won't be taller than the other. So let's refresh this here. So now we can see, we're getting an overload with this lady's face here, but that's fine. So we have 3 respective images here. Obviously, you'd want to use something different. And even better, most of you know this, but just in case you didn't know, you can always add a text link. So let's just link to the site itself. You can add a text link here, call to action. So this is a link. And yeah, we can go ahead and save the changes. So now we're really creating a night, we're welcoming people to the site. We're giving them more places where they can go on your site. You don't necessarily need to use the streaming widgets. Maybe you just want to link to a specific page or a category of a streaming widgets. And then lastly, what we've done with this, and we demoed it in the previous webinar, you can also choose the padding for that area. So I'll do something extreme. I'll just do 100 pixels just so we can see what that looks like. And that's going to kind of open it up and really make it like its own section on the page rather than just a snippet, a horizontal snippet. So if we, there we go. So now we can see it's got a lot more breathing room with that padding. You can really draw you in and attract more attention to these buttons here and these calls to action. So that's available for everyone. If you want to play around with that on your homepage, you can kind of spruce things up there. All right, and one more also related to the home page. Let me enable this streaming widget. So a lot of us are also using, I'll just put this in the second spot, the about/join offer modules on the home page. And those are here, still in the homepage layout, where we have the join offer title and the about title. Basically, it's 2 areas where you can put additional information about your site on the home page. So what we've done is, before you could just enter plain text here, you can now use the full functionality and features of the text editor that you have when you're creating a static web page. So you can have a lot more control here. You can embed images and videos and do all sorts of styling here in these 2 modules. So let me just save the changes here so we can see these on the home page. And then I'll just add an image so we can kind of get an idea of what these text editor options unlock for us. So this is kind of what we're all used to, just these 2 simple plain text, and there are some link options here. However, now, and I'll just grab this text here, what we can do is, we could paste this in here, and we can actually, we can grab an image from our image folder. This guy looks like he's having a good time. And we can float it to the right. And yeah, we could put the text here, I think. We should be able to put the text there. Right, there we go. Well, let's see what that looks like. It looks like it's being a little finicky now. We should be able to line those up. It looks like we need to update something here just to get the layout correct with when there's images, but I'll send that to them right away. But you should be able to add images here, videos if you need to. Again, the full features of the text editor there, which should give you, again, a better way to present the important information of your site directly on your home page. All right, and some things that are coming soon down the pipeline. We should see them within the next 30 days or sooner. One is the ability to create and save member smart lists. So we all know that we have the add-on to export members. This one with smart lists will be available to everyone. What you'll be able to do is go to your search members in the admin area, conduct a custom search. Maybe you want to search for premium California members who are past due, and you can save that list as a smart list. You can give it a nickname, and you'll be able to store it and have it as a list. And later in the future, you'll be able to specifically email that list with your email newsletters. So you'll have a lot more flexibility with segmenting your existing members into different groups. And then you'll be able to market to them or export them to another platform that you may be using for your email marketing and sequences. So really excited about that. This one's just a quality of life. A new layout for the advanced settings is coming soon. Let me show you what the current one looks like. So current advanced settings is just kind of like a title and then a lot of ones and zeros. What we'll be doing is just kind of better organizing it, and this is not the best example, but anywhere where there's a 1 or 0, that's essentially an on or off switch. We're going to be having, you don't have to enter 1 or 0, it's going to be like an on or off toggle. And anywhere where there's multiple options, instead of manually typing it, it'll be a drop-down list, so that'll help prevent any user errors. Maybe you misspell something and things like that. And then also, this is going to be the catalyst for we're going to launch this. It's going to be the catalyst for kind of how we present some basic settings, like in your general settings area or your membership plan settings. It's a lot easier to absorb the information in this layout, so we are looking forward to kind of those design updates just to make things a little easier to absorb and find around the admin area. All right, the ability to have full width for member profile headers. This one's a little more difficult to explain, so I do have an example I can show you. So what we can do is, so this page has a sidebar and tabs, and normally this header area is in line with the sidebar. Let's actually go to Demo Bootstrap real quick and just see what the regular way is right now. So this is the current way, works great. This is our John Smith sample. He's published all the content on the demo site, but we can see the sidebar here is aligned with his member header section here with his name and his profile photo. You'll have an option in your design settings, if you wanted to enable it when this is released, to instead have that top section be full width and then the sidebar and tabs be underneath that. So, and of course you can choose if you want the sidebar alignment left or right. So what I like about this is a couple things. One, it will create a slightly larger profile image because it's got, again, a little more room to breathe. The call to action buttons are a little bit larger and prominent, so when a visitor comes here, they'll know exactly what they can do to engage with this member. And then also, I think this will look really beautiful when there's the profile cover photo at the top of the page also. So that'll be available in the coming weeks, and it'll be a setting in the design settings, so you can choose if you want your member profiles to be like this or the standard way with the sidebar aligned with it there. In addition to that, when you scroll down, there's these tabs here, but when you scroll down, you kind of lose the tabs here. Let's use this demo example here, Demo Bootstrap. We kind of lose the tabs, which is fine. That's the way a lot of sites work, but we found that it might be more helpful if these tabs lock at the top of the page here. So as you're browsing, you can just continue searching the profile without losing the tabs. So that'll be available as well for everyone soon, and it should provide a better experience both on mobile and on desktop view. All right, I've mentioned this one a couple times. The QA is a little more comprehensive, but you soon will be able to turn your post category pages and the landing page for your posts into their own static pages. And the most important part there is you'll be able to add hero titles and hero images. So you'll really be able to create nicer landing pages for the categories of your different post types. So just as a simple example, if you have products on your site and one of your product post type categories is, let's say, furniture, you can create a nicer landing page just for the furniture category page of that post. You can put a nice image there, put a nice title, supportive SEO, complementary SEO content to help those pages rank a bit better in Google as well. So that should help overall with both aesthetics and SEO of your site once you start turning those pages into their own static pages. This next one is huge. A lot of people have been requesting it. The ability to easily add button links in the text editor, and I do have an example of what this is going to look like for everyone. So let's go here actually. So here's a page, a landing page that I created, and I have some links here. So that's perfectly fine. Let's look at the page. Let me save this. So with the web page editor, I mean, you can highlight any text and then turn it into a link. That's what we've done here with the Learn More buttons. And we can see here it says Learn More, Learn More, Learn More. But with this update, what you're going to be able to do is once you turn it into a link, if I click on it, you have some options. You can go to the link, you can edit the link, you can unlink it, but now you're going to have this style option. And what you can do is you can choose, and remember I mentioned the button color, the 6 button color options you have in your design settings. You can actually assign a button color class to this link. So in this case, let's do normal danger for this button. In this case, let's do, there's normal and large buttons. So let's do large success. And in this one, let's do normal warning or primary. So let's go ahead and save those changes. And if we refresh the page here, we can see now there are the corresponding buttons. So that's really important because obviously it's really easy to miss a plain text link. It's not very prominent. This should give you the control you need to kind of draw more attention to those important links as you're creating more landing pages. Overall, I'm really impressed with what the development team's done using some of the simple editor tools to create tables and rows of elements that are equal, and then now with the ability to do button colors, you know, it really gives a novice user the enough to kind of get dangerous with creating some simple landing pages here. So that should be available in the coming weeks as well, and looking forward to see what you guys create with that. I just want to take a beat here. Let me lower anyone's hands. Does anyone have any questions or comments about what they saw in the BD Lab updates today? I know that was kind of extensive there, but glad that we could be pushing all these updates for you guys. Okay, no questions. All right, we have a great tip of the week, and it's actually introducing our new billing reminder emails add-on. And David, you put together this great presentation for us today about some of the features and what we can get out of this new billing reminder emails add-on. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to pass it over to you.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the benefits and the new features that that this add-on brings. The main benefit to this add-on is that it really automates a lot of the kind of reminder billing process when it comes to your members. Help keep them kind of updated with their accounts, make sure that their credit cards are up to date, that they'll be billed or that they have been billed. And so we'll get into how it works in a little bit. But some of the key features are that those billing reminder emails are automatically sent out to the members. You, the website admin, have the option to receive a daily summary report emailed to you about basically the financial health of your website. You can choose to include the PDF invoices directly in the emails that the members receive if you do have that downloadable PDF invoices add-on installed on your site. You do also have the ability to edit, as you do with all default email templates. You can edit these new email templates as well to better match your website's brand and the persona that you're trying to get across. And then you can also select when these various email reminders should be sent out to your members. So this add-on can really help you manage your time a lot better by automatically taking care of some of these billing tasks for you. One of them is that it will provide you with kind of an overview of your website's financial health by sending you those daily summary reports. Again, that's an option. You can choose whether or not you want to receive them, but it'll give you a good overview without you needing to log into your admin account of kind of, past due members, how many transactions have taken place, that sort of stuff. It will also allow you to automatically follow up with past due members. So by default, you're able to see when certain members are past due on your website, but typically you would need to follow up with them manually to try to collect that payment if they're not doing it themselves. So this will take care of that for you automatically by sending them those billing reminders and letting them know that they are past due. Additionally, like I mentioned, it'll automatically email those invoices to the members as well if you want to send them the invoices and if you do have that add-on as well. Additionally, you can customize those default email templates. You can remind members to keep a current credit card on file. Basically, by having these automated emails sent out to the members, it keeps your website top of mind. It reminds them that they have an account on your site and that if they want to maintain their membership, that they will be billed and that they will need to keep their credit card information up to date. Otherwise, they will become past due. And I think possibly one of the more important additional benefits is that it allows you to automatically stay in touch with your members. And so just allowing you to kind of automatically be top of mind with them without you having to do any additional work, it gives the members an opportunity to address any potential problems or concerns that they might have that could lead them to eventually canceling. So by your website automatically and proactively sending out these emails to members, if they're having a problem, they may be inclined to reply to those emails and try to seek help directly from you, rather than if they didn't receive any communication from you, they might just go and cancel their account themselves immediately. So that's one of the kind of side benefits of this, is that it could potentially save some cancellations.
Yeah, also, I mean, just in line with that, what it's doing in effect is creating an additional touch point with a member. And the custom email templates are really nice. They're not too mean or harsh. But if you go in there and make some small modifications to those email templates to really match your brand's voice and persona, everything with a business is related to marketing. The support you provide, your billing department, it's all marketing, because people are leaving with an opinion about your company at the end of the day. So these additional touch points can really turn into opportunities of not only resolving issues, but delivering happiness to more customers by staying top of mind. And in those emails, you can ask them if there's anything we can help you with, if you this and that. Do you need help with your profile? Do you know about these other services that we offer? So without bombarding them with too many newsletter emails, this is just another type of email that you can send that can subtly include some other important information that your company has to share.
I think that's a really good point as to why the default email templates should be customized. You can leave the fundamentals of the default templates the same, but if you can add in your own touch, your own personalizations to make the emails less generic and more in line with the rest of your website, that aspect will really follow through with the members. And so what if you don't have this add-on? Well, you do still have a lot of functionality. You can, of course, still manually send the follow-up emails to your past due members. In the admin area, it does let you know which members are past due still. So you'll be able to easily identify them and send them follow-up emails to try to collect on those past due payments. And then members can always still log into their accounts and view their payment history as well as their subscription information and subscription history. So that's always available to them. And another important aspect to keep in mind is that the main benefit to this add-on is that it's automating this entire basically past due transactions process for you. So you don't really need to keep as close of an eye on the past due members with this add-on. So if you don't have that many members, if you're not managing large volumes of recurring subscriptions, then you might not even need this add-on. If, on the other hand, you are managing large volumes of members who have recurring subscriptions, this might help kind of make your life easier and allow you to spend more time focusing on some other aspects of your website.
All right, great. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward what this does. We've mentioned in the previous webinars. Let's see how it works.
And I do want to mention, because we got a couple questions, this is, of course, included in the VIP Add-ons Club. So if you're already a member of the VIP Add-ons Club, then you should have this add-on. All new add-ons that we release are part of the VIP Add-ons Club.
Yeah, great. That's a really good point. So let me dive in here and kind of show you where you can view the settings, enable them, to turn on the emails if you want them to be sent to members and yourself as the daily digest or financial summary, and also some other areas where you can view some of the billing reminder options. So let's go on over to, we have this sample site here. So where you're going to find this is if you go to your transaction history tab. Actually, I have it open right here. So this is just a test site we did with some test transactions. You're going to find this bell here, billing email settings. So when you have this add-on, you can come to your transaction history page and you'll see this setting. Now, what David was saying before is if you don't have this add-on, you still have new settings enabled that kind of complement this. You have the ability to, in the actions for each of these tabs up to payments received, upcoming, and past due, these three here. In the Actions tab, you can send the corresponding email notification for if the payment is received. You can email them the email template that corresponds to that. If they have an upcoming payment, maybe in a few days, you can send the corresponding email notification to a single person here. And if somebody is past due, you can come here and you can send the past due email template to them just by clicking Send Email Notification. Let's actually click on this and see what we get. So we get the email template. In this case, it's connecting the invoice PDF as an attachment, and this is the standard template. It's very soft. It says renewal notice. We apologize for the inconvenience. We're unable to process it, and of course, it provides the member with a login link. So everyone has that ability now. When you do have this add-on, you not only get the billing email settings here, you also get the ability to send those emails in bulk. So you can check a bunch of members and then send the bulk emails. With past dues, there's up to 3 different reminder emails that you can send. Obviously, going up to the 3rd reminder, you want to make it maybe slightly more pressing because more time has gone by or urgent. But you can send in bulk on any of these tabs. Right here, send bulk, due payments received, if you need to do that. So let's dive into the billing email settings here. So because we wanted to get this out as quickly as possible, we tried to keep the phase 1 settings as direct and simple as possible. So basically you have 5 different events that you can enable emails for. A new payment received, you can choose to email the member. You can include it in the, when it says email admin, it's the daily financial summary. It'll be included in that. You can include the invoice PDF or not in the emails. And well, new payments received, it would be instant, so that would be sent the same day. And then you can edit the default email template that corresponds to this email event. Upcoming payments, same thing. Something different here though. You can choose up to 14 days before the actual payment is going to be collected and it's due. You can choose which day before that, up to 14 days, you want that notification to be sent. So maybe you want to send it a week before it's due. You can just go ahead and choose 7 days before due date. So the past dues, just depending on your business model and the type of membership program you have, you can choose to send up to 3 past due emails. So let's say a payment is due January 1st. The credit card, there's supposedly a good credit card on file. It's a monthly recurring payment. And maybe the credit card expired the previous month, or it has insufficient funds to process the payment. So the system was unable to collect the payment. The member is now past due. So you can choose to send the first reminder on the same day that it was due if it was unable to collect. Or maybe you just want to send it the next day, or whatever you're comfortable with. And then maybe that's all you want to do. So maybe you don't want to bombard them. However, if the invoice remains unpaid and you do want to send a second reminder, you can email the member a second time, but maybe you want to send that one out maybe 5 days after the invoice was due. And then lastly, you could send a third reminder, and again, you can edit the template saying, we've tried contacting you several times, your account will be canceled. You can just make it more pressing and more urgent, and maybe you want to do that one. Well, this one goes all the way up to 90 days, but maybe you want to do that 30 days after the invoice is due, or 14 days. And these are great ways to keep in touch. You don't have to be harsh in the past due emails. You can ask them if they need some assistance. And sometimes maybe they're not getting your emails. So what's really good about the system also is in the transaction history tab, you can clearly see who the past due members are. And of course, you can contact them. Maybe they need a phone call. Maybe their email's not working for some reason, or they're not getting your emails for some reason. So there are multiple steps to stay proactive. And really what we want to do here is, with all these tools, is shore up money that's owed to you in your organization for services that you're providing to your members. So some of that automation is going to make things easier for you. And then let me just quickly go into editing one of these templates. Let's do past due reminder number 1. So if you click on edit template, we can see here it's a pre-made template, so I can go ahead and customize that if I want. So now I can customize it. It is variable based, and we've already provided the variables for you. So I wouldn't mess too much with the variables in these emails, but you can update a lot of the text. You could make it more friendly. Looks like we hit a snag. Things like that. And then, at the bottom, it says, please reply to this email. And of course, you can add your own sentences, add your own custom messaging and things like that. So you can really make it your own and really match your brands. And all you would have to do is save the template, and there's nothing else you need to do. It'll just start using your custom template over the pre-made email template. It'll give your custom template the priority. What you want to do is just make sure you don't change this template nickname here, because that's what the email is corresponding to. So we don't want to adjust the template nickname here. Other than that, that's exactly how you can customize the email templates and choose the settings for billing reminder emails. It's pretty straightforward there. Dave, do you have any final notes you want to add about this one?
No, I think that's it. It's a pretty simple add-on. It really just automates the process. It allows you to focus more time on some other aspects of your website. And I think an important note, again, is that if you're not managing a large number of recurring subscriptions and you're okay manually following up with your past due members, then you probably don't need this add-on. But of course, if you already do have the VIP add-ons club, then you do have this add-on, and so you might as well take advantage of it.
Awesome. All right, let's pass it over to you guys. I see, all right, Colette's got her hand up here. How you doing today, Colette?
Hi, Jason. How are you doing?
We're doing wonderful. Thank you.
Good. I have a couple of quick questions. The one I did raise before with the email reminders. Are there any options of just sending those out automated to annual subscribers?
So you did note that in the previous webinar, not in this version of it. However, in addition to what you recommended in a phase 2, and we just released this, so we had beta testers using it, we are planning to maybe the payment reminders, selecting what payment cycles those go out for, because you mentioned you probably don't want to bombard your monthly users every month, and you prefer to just send it to yearly subscribers, correct?
Correct, yes.
In addition to that, we also want to do that for the daily report to the admin. Maybe not everyone wants a daily financial summary, so we're also going to look into maybe doing a weekly or a monthly financial summary report, and it would be up to the admin to decide how frequent they want those reports. So I have noted your update about that, and we'll keep you posted.
Super. Thanks very much.
You're
and
very
love
welcome.
all the updates and new features. That's fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah, it's lots of fun to share them too. Thank you for joining the webinar, Colette. All right, we have Paul. I saw Paul's hand up here. How you doing, Paul?
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, how you doing? Where are you calling in from?
Thank you. Yeah, great webinar. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'm a pretty new to BD, but not new to the web. So I'm creating my first directory and been watching a lot of videos. So I just got a question about adding members manually. It makes a lot of sense to me, but I just want to work out what email address, if I'm adding businesses manually, what email address can I use? Because can I just use my own email address and then ask them to log in, claim their profile and change it? Or should I find their email address from somewhere else online and use their real one? Any advice on that?
So that's a really good question, actually. The way members log into their account is a unique email and unique password that's created. So if you're manually creating a member, the system is going to prompt you to add an email. However, if you are adding members manually to populate your directory, you don't necessarily need to have their real email address. You can really just put whatever you want in there. If you do use their real email address, they will get pinged and notified if a visitor is trying to send them messages from their profile page. So your website will start interacting with them if you do put a real email address on file. They won't be emailed when you add them to the system, just if visitors start messaging them from their profile that's created eventually. Now, if they claim their listing, if you set up the profile manually with a spoof email or just a filler email address, when they claim their listing and choose a membership level and join and take over that profile, the new email address that they signed up with will be connected to that profile, and of course they'll receive the messages and any other notifications that their profile will ping them with. So in short, no, you don't need to put their real email address when you're adding them manually, and when they claim their listing, it'll automatically update with their real email that they used during the sign up process.
Great. So I could just use test@test.com and just use that for everything, basically.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you can come up with, yeah.
Oh, but it should be unique. They should be unique or not?
If you're adding it manually, there's a checkbox there that says, do you want to do unique? I think just, sometimes when they're the same email address, I think it'd be better overall. It's not a problem, but just overall if they were different, even if you're putting the spoof ones in.
No, thanks. I plan to sort of manually add 100 or so over the next few days, and it's good. I'll just make them unique. I'll make them nonsense email addresses, but I'll make them unique.
Okay, and it sounds like you're actually adding like some rich data to them. If you needed to, you can also import a CSV file, and you can leave the email field blank, and the system will just create that kind of dummy email address for them when you import as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. So basically, I saw that on the I think some of the support articles. So maybe the best way would be to create a Google sheet and just put all that information in different columns and leave the email address blank.
Yeah.
And the system
the system will generate the spoof email address, the dummy email address for them. Yeah.
Right. Fantastic.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, we'll stop it there. If we didn't get to your question, please join us in the Facebook group. The billing reminder emails is now available. If you have the VIP add-ons club, it's already enabled on your site. You can go to the transaction histories tab and click on billing email reminders. Those are the settings for that. Lots of updates we shared for you today. We look forward to seeing you in the next webinar. It's going to be in 2 weeks. Webinars are every 2 weeks, so we hit about 2 webinars each month most of the time. And again, please join us in the Facebook group. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. We can continue the conversations there. On behalf of myself and David, thank you so much for joining us today, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great day and a brilliant week. Take care, guys.